Time now for our Under the Radar segment, which comes to us tonight from San Francisco, California. David J. is a 23-year-old ladies' man who is also a virgin and planning on remaining one. He's not a priest. He doesn't want to become a priest. He just says he's not interested in sex, and apparently he is not alone. Jay started an online community for asexuals called Asexuality.org. It claims to have more than 6,000 members worldwide. Here to talk about a community under the radar, David J. David, thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, how does asexuality differ from celibacy?
Well, celibacy is a choice. Asexual people don't experience sexual attraction. So the way that, for whatever reason, most people in the world feel the need to make sex a big part of their lives, asexual people just don't.
So you don't think about sex?
I don't desire sex. I mean, I see sex in the world around me all the time, so I think about it. I know that it's there.
Yes, but you're aware that the average man has a porno movie on a continuous loop going in his brain at all times, and you don't?
I've been told that, more or less. I have a hard time believing it, but if you say so.
So why aren't you the most successful man in the world? I mean, if freed from the enormous energy it takes the average person, average man anyway, to think about sex all day long, I mean, I don't know, you'd have time to cure cancer. What are you doing with your free time?
Let's see. Well, right now I'm being on national television,
Good point.
But other than that, I mean, in a lot of ways, we just exchange one set of kind of things that we have to worry about for another. I mean, asexual people, I've got the same emotional needs as everyone else. So I still have to worry about relationships. I have to worry about, you know, the complexities of non-sexual intimacy rather than the complexities of sexual intimacy. But
how did you determine you were an asexual?
Well, all my friends, when I was 13, 14, all my friends kind of started realizing that they were sexual people, talking about being sexually attracted to people, and I just couldn't relate to what they were saying. And so at that time, no one was talking about it. No one was acknowledging that you could not like sex and that that was okay. So I went through kind of a really complicated process of just figuring myself out. And once I was comfortable with myself, I founded this website, Asexuality.org, and a whole community has really grown up around it.
So you never have sexual impulses. You never have a physical sexual response.
I and a lot of other asexual people can experience sexual arousal, but that doesn't mean that we desire to be sexual in our relationships with people.
Huh. So in other words, your body desires sex, but you don't feel like entering into sex with another person.
You could put it that way. I would just say that my body reacts a certain way. What that means, you know, you can't really ascribe a desire.
Well, I don't know. It's a significant question because it suggests that it's not the product of a hormonal imbalance. I mean, people who've been, for instance, castrated, I suppose, don't have the same kind of sexual impulses that men who have not been castrated have. But so you have the ability to be sexually aroused.
Yeah. And right now there's been so little research done on asexuality that for the most part we don't know. But what little there's been indicates that there's no hormonal imbalance, there's no emotional disorder associated, there's nothing wrong with asexual people. It's just the way that we are.
Okay. I think a lot of viewers, and I know as I've been talking about this segment during the day, a number of people have said, well, he's gay, and he's just repressed. Do you get that a lot, and is that true?
A little bit. I mean, the thing is that asexual people still experience attraction. So you can be asexual and gay, asexual and straight, asexual and bi. Okay. Personally, I'm attracted maybe 80% to women, 20% to men.
Huh.
But and other asexual people all over the spectrum. So it's not about attraction, sexual attraction that maybe I'm not having that I don't realize. And also, I'm pretty active about how I explore my relationships with people, how I explore intimacy, and I'm not holding anything back.
Do you feel like you're missing out?
No. Well, I think that sex is a great part of a lot of people's lives, and it's really important. It's a great way to do a lot of things, to show that you love someone, to express intimacy, to have fun. But it's not the only way to do any of those things.
For that matter.
Yeah. It's also not the only way to have children.
Huh.
So. Personally, I'm more interested in all the other ways.
I think even now, a man still has to, ejaculate.
Well, no, I mean,
for a child to be born.
Okay, it's not the only way to raise children.
Right. Okay, interesting. Do you get people judging you? I mean, this is such a heavily sexualized society. Mm-hmm. When you tell people, incidentally, I'm an asexual, do people say, ew? They say that's great? I mean, what do they say?
For the most part, people have been accepting. I think that there's some people out there who really just think that sex is kind of a vital part of being human,
Yes.
And they'll sometimes take issue with us. But other than that, our community's been pretty well accepted. I think we're kind of creating some new discussions about sexuality and the different ways that it can or doesn't have to fit in someone's life that have never happened before.
Well, how about this? Why don't you just try it once, and then you'll know for certain whether you like it or not.
A lot of other asexual people have and haven't liked it, and also, from what I understand, a lot of times the first time isn't that great.
But it's like
how many times do I have to try it before I can actually say that?
It's like goat cheese. You know, when you're little, you think, I would never eat goat cheese. It comes from a goat. I didn't even know they had milk. And then you try it, and it's sort of intriguing. And then after 3 or 4 goat cheese experiences, you know, you like goat cheese. Have you
I mean, honestly, did you have to try sex to realize that it was something that you wanted to do? Do most 15-year-old boys have to try sex to realize that?
It wasn't a hard sell in my case, but I don't know, on the principle that everything is worth trying at least once, you don't want to try it?
I don't really see why I should. I mean, there's so many other things that I'm very interested in that I have strong feelings about that I'm still exploring. Right? There's a whole huge world of experiences out there. One tiny sliver of that is sex.